What if I told you your phone knows you're depressed before you do? It sounds like science fiction, but major tech companies are already developing algorithms that can predict the onset of depression with startling accuracy, just by analyzing how you use your devices. This isn't about listening to your conversations. It's much, much deeper than that. Stick with me, because the truth behind this technology will change how you see your digital life forever. When we think about mental health and technology, we usually picture wellness apps, meditation guides, or maybe even therapy. The common belief is that tech is a tool we choose to use for our mental well-being. But what's really happening is that technology is becoming a passive observer, constantly collecting data that reveals our innermost psychological states without us even realizing it. We think we're in control of the data we share, but the real story is written in the data we don't even know we're recreating the digital breadcrumbs of our daily lives. This passive data tells a story about our mental health that's more honest than anything we willingly post online. To understand how this is possible, we need to look at the foundations of behavioral science. For decades, psychologists have known that depression isn't just a feeling of sadness. It fundamentally changes our behavior. Research published in journals like the Astoris Journal of Medical Internet Research *, and studies from institutions like Stanford and MIT have shown clear links between depressive episodes and specific behavioral patterns. For example, people experiencing depression often exhibit social withdrawal, a condition known as anhedonia, where they lose interest in activities they once enjoyed, and changes in their sleep patterns and physical activity levels. They might call or text friends and family less often. They might stop going to the gym or even leave the house less frequently. Their sleep can become erratic, either sleeping too much or suffering from insomnia. For a long time, these markers could only be identified by a trained clinician during a therapy session, relying on the patient's self-reporting. But that method has a huge flaw. People often don't recognize these changes in themselves, or they don't seek help until symptoms are severe. The data, however, doesn't lie, and it doesn't wait. Our smartphones and wearable devices are now capturing these behavioral signals 24/7, creating an unprecedented, objective record of our mental state. So, how does it actually work? Let's break it down. Your smartphone is a treasure trove of behavioral data. First, consider your social interaction patterns. An AI can analyze your call logs and messaging data, not the content of the messages, but the metadata. It looks at the frequency and duration of your calls, how many incoming versus outgoing texts you have, and how quickly you respond. A sudden drop in outgoing communication can be a powerful indicator of social withdrawal. Second, there's your mobility. Your phone's GPS and accelerometer data can paint a detailed picture of your physical world. An algorithm can track how many unique locations you visit in a day, how much time you spend at home versus outside, and the regularity of your movements. A significant decrease in your locational entropy, meaning you're sticking to just one or two places like home and work, is a classic sign of depression. Third is your interaction with the device itself. The speed and rhythm of your typing, the force of your taps on the screen, and even your scrolling speed can change. People with depression often type slower, with more pauses and corrections. These subtle digital motor patterns are almost impossible to fake and provide a direct window into your psychomotor state. Finally, data from wearables like smartwatches adds another layer, tracking heart rate variability and sleep quality with clinical precision. When an AI combines all these data streams, social patterns, mobility, device interaction, and biometrics, it builds a comprehensive behavioral signature and can spot deviations from your personal baseline that correlate with the onset of a depressive episode. Let's look at a real-world example. A study conducted by Northwestern University gave smartphones to a group of participants and tracked them for 2 weeks. They didn't ask them to do anything special, just live their lives normally, using only passive GPS data and phone usage logs. The researchers' algorithm was able to identify participants with symptoms of depression with 87% accuracy. The most significant predictors were spending more time at home, visiting fewer locations, and having a less regular day-to-day schedule. Another key indicator was phone usage. The study found that depressed individuals spent, on average, more than 3 times as much time on their phones, about 68 minutes a day, compared to just 17 for the non-depressed group. But it wasn't just active use. It was endless, mindless scrolling, a form of digital escapism. The algorithm didn't need to know what they were looking at, just that the pattern of interaction was characteristic of avoidance and low motivation. This study, and others like it, prove that this isn't a theoretical concept. The technology is here, it's effective, and is being refined every single day. Now, for the twist. You might be thinking that this technology is being developed by healthcare companies or research institutions to help people. And some of it is, but the biggest players in this space, the ones with the most data and the most advanced algorithms, are not primarily in the business of healthcare. They're in the business of advertising. The same behavioral markers that predict depression, social withdrawal, low motivation, irregular sleep, increased screen time are also incredibly valuable for targeted marketing. Think about it. If an algorithm knows you're feeling down, it knows you're more susceptible to impulse purchases, comfort food delivery ads, or escapist entertainment subscriptions. It knows when you're most vulnerable. This technology isn't just about identifying a health risk. It's about identifying a commercial opportunity. The very systems designed to predict your emotional state are being weaponized to profit from it. The goal isn't necessarily to get you help. It's to get you to click buy now. What are the consequences of this? On one hand, you have the incredible potential for early intervention. An app could gently nudge you, suggesting you call a friend or go for a walk, long before you spiral into a major depressive episode. It could alert a loved one or a doctor, with your consent, that you might need support. This could save lives. But on the other hand, the commercial exploitation of our mental vulnerabilities is a terrifying prospect. Imagine a world where your insurance premiums go up because your phone activity suggests you're a high-risk individual, or where you're constantly bombarded with ads that prey on your sadness and anxiety, keeping you in a cycle of consumption and despair. This isn't a simple privacy issue. It is a profound ethical dilemma about the nature of autonomy and mental health in the digital age. We are building a system that knows our weaknesses better than we do, and we have no say in how that knowledge is used. The machine is learning to recognize the ghost in our own machine, and as it gets better at seeing us, we have to ask ourselves, is it looking to help us heal the shadows, or is it learning how to feed them? Thanks for watching.